No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Sneako
What's good?
is in the building.
Adam 22.
Last time I was with you, it was in a Bushwick apartment on a dark street across the street from a boarded up bando.
Yeah.
And now here we are in LA.
I made it out of there. That was, my life has changed a lot in a couple months. That was fun though.
It seemed weird that you lived there though, just based on like it's like it's a woke borough.
That's why I got out.
Brooklyn's a woke borough. This is not necessarily, this is just like a normal ass neighborhood in like a random ass part of
Who's
Bushwick.
Mexicans?
I didn't see any people on the block, and the street lights weren't
on my
on.
street?
It was dark as fuck.
There's a lot of block parties. It's usually active. A lot of Dominicans blasting music at the car.
Oh, okay. But you lived in that area for like a long ass time?
2 years.
Oh, okay.
I was in Harlem before.
It just didn't seem like a good fit for somebody like you.
Where do you think would be a good fit?
Miami.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live in Miami now. My set was very different. I mean, before I was banned, it's just one little fisheye on a Joby tripod and my shitty Blue Yeti mic, and we're just both staring at my computer screen. I like that shitty setup. Every time I have a guest on, they're like, oh, this is terrible.
Right.
But there's something to having a terrible setup, like Speed or, streamers. It's just they like I think it's proven that people care more about the person than the setup.
Right.
But this is a dope studio. Looking around, this is way bigger than
I feel like also then at the same time, you're kind of competing on setup a little bit. Not that much. Mostly personality. Mostly what you're doing and what the actual entertainment is. But then I feel like to a certain degree, when I look at Vlad's content and it's filmed with 4K cameras and it looks like perfect quality, it definitely influences the way I think about the content a little bit. So if you do make money doing this, I feel like it's worth investing in. But at the same time, I understand as a Twitch streamer especially, it's like all about the content. Here's my little ass camera on my head, and then here's the screen.
Yeah, Aiden uses a webcam, I think. I don't even think he has a camera. USB.
He doesn't? I think he got one.
Most of the time, it looks terrible quality.
Well, he'll be happy to hear that because I'm pretty sure he spent money on an expensive camera at some point.
Awful. I got banned on Twitch already?
Yeah, what was this for?
I got banned on Twitch.
It's the everlasting question is what was this for? Because it doesn't
I was eating a salad, and they said I was ban evading. So
by eating a salad?
Yeah. I don't know what it was. I mean, that's what I was doing when I was banned, but perma ban. You can get fucked on Twitch and get a 7-day ban. You know that girl who took dick on live?
She got 7 days.
She got 7 days, and I got perma ban.
Right. And you're not really sure about exactly what you were...
They said ban evasion. And so some people told me that it's because if you ban a one-on platform, then Twitch can ban you. But I don't know what I was evading. I just started streaming.
I never heard that. So you went to Twitch from YouTube?
Yeah, after I got banned on YouTube, I went to Twitch and then got banned in 2 days.
Okay. And then the $1 million question is also why you got banned on YouTube. Are you familiar with any particular videos?
So I got 3 strikes.
What were the strikes for?
COVID misinformation, election misinformation, and cyberbullying.
And these were on streams or were these YouTube videos?
Streams, all streams. Oh, well, stream clips.
Okay.
So yeah, I would post those on another channel, but then they got all my channels.
Damn.
I saw you speculating it with Yassine the other day. You drove me over here.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people are pretty uncertain about it, but I think it was a bigger decision because the cyberbullying one came when I was in Bucharest. I feel like they saw me shaking hands with Andrew Tate, and they wanted to just,
Right, because Andrew Tate didn't get this series of warnings, right? His shit just got taken down.
Just shut him out, yeah.
Which is kind of bizarre.
Which is pretty much what happened to me.
Yeah, but you feel like it was a coordinated campaign by by who?
By the executives at Big Tech, and even the government too. I think they all worked together.
Why would you think it was them instead of some particular like fandom that doesn't like you?
No, they don't listen to the fans. They don't give a fuck about. There were people mass supporting me, but I don't think it was that.
But when somebody like Destiny gets banned, don't you think it's fair to say that that's just coming from like fan groups that don't like him?
That's true, but I don't know why they don't review that. And I think it was because Destiny started saying some red pill shit. I think it's because he was starting to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse, and he's talking about trans people, and this woke guy is starting to shift over a lot of these program bots to believe in truth.
Yeah, he like finally had a moment where he started to say some shit that went against the basic like trans orthodoxy that you should go along with, and which is pretty crazy because when you really look at it, Destiny's about as pro-trans as you can imagine a person being, and I guess a large percentage of his audience identifies as trans. And if you were to listen to him talk about trans people, you would think that he's the most open-minded person, but he just hasn't ticked every last box. He's been critical of a couple of trans people, etc. And for that, it's enough for him to forever be banished from being cool with these people.
It's getting. I'm wondering, what do you think about all this? Everybody I talk to, I've been talking to Bradley Martin, academics, freshmen, all these people, and everyone is starting to realize that this is a really strange time in social media. It's a shift. You've been doing it for the longest time. I already told you, I've been watching you for years. But I feel like right now it's getting to this communist level, and there's really, I think, an opportunity for another website or somebody else to overturn all this bullshit.
Right.
There's no way that everybody, all the normies, don't see this bullshit.
Right. And it's just getting to the point where, let's say that every person who's been banned from social media had a channel on Rumble and was able to actually make an amount of money that was close to what they could make off YouTube. All of a sudden, Rumble starts looking like a viable app that people might actually want to have. When you think about Andrew Tate, if he's able to speak freely on an app, I mean, that app is probably going to get a lot of fucking people on it. So I kind of feel like YouTube, by banning all these creators, is basically just like creating this big fucking opportunity for people to be able to actually gravitate towards one of these platforms. And every time you push one more person off the platform, whether Steve will do it, you, whoever, it just kind of is going to keep building up in people's minds. Like, you know, I myself haven't really had someone banned from YouTube who I watch on a day-to-day basis. But if Destiny was banned off YouTube instead of Twitch, I watch Destiny all the time. Boom, I'm a daily Rumble user all of a sudden.
Yeah, you watch Destiny more than me?
Yeah.
Damn, man. You're woke?
Well, I don't know.
How do you align more with him than someone on the red pill side?
I feel like I'm probably more of a leftist, but
have you been banned on anything before?
No. I had my Snapchat deleted back in the day, but it's because I had a girl eating another girl's ass on it. Oh. Which, to be honest, it seemed kind of fair.
Yeah, don't do that.
I had to make a new one.
Yeah. Don't do that.
I don't want to get banned, though. And when okay, this is the thing about me, though, is when I came in the game, I was making the edgiest content I could. I realized pretty quickly, as soon as I got out of doing the BMX stuff, or while I was still doing the BMX stuff, when I started doing No Jumper content, all my best ideas are basically just edgy shit. I did acid in the woods, stuff about threesomes and just fucking random girls. Even like, I had all these vlogs back in the day, some of which have been privated, in which I'm basically just like going out and getting drunk and doing coke with a bunch of girls, and like I'm not showing sex, but I'm showing damn near everything else. There's definitely videos where you can see the lines on the table and shit like that.
And they don't ban that.
At that time, this is pre-adpocalypse, so it kind of felt like a free-for-all. I remember one time I showed my now fiance rubbing my boner through my fucking shorts, and I got my video taken down for that, and I was shocked because I just didn't really. This is maybe 2016. I didn't know that many people who had videos removed. I thought for sure she could be rubbing my boner through my jeans and I would be all right. Nope.
Why'd you want to put that on YouTube?
Because I hadn't really seen that kind of stuff. Like, I didn't know enough. I'm the kind of person I'm going to have to push right up to the line. I didn't realize that was over the line. I thought I would have to actually show the dick.
YouTube has changed.
YouTube has really changed. All that old shit with Lil Pump.
What shit with Lil Pump? Him shooting out the car?
No, I went on tour with Lil Pump really once, and it was ignorant, to say the least. But somehow I never really crossed that line, because, all right, I have a friend, Dope as Yola, who has like a weed. He has a podcast. He talks about weed a lot. He smokes weed. He does good with the podcast. But before the podcast, like 10 years ago or whatever, he was a YouTuber who made all his videos about weed, right? And so everything he fucking posted, he never made any money on. He said that if he had been monetized, he would have made $3 million. But because he was pretty much demonetized from day one, he made like $0. And I'm just so thankful that we always kind of got thought of by YouTube as like an interview show where people happen to be smoking weed, and not like a weed show, because it feels like a lot of the weed specific YouTube content got really hammered.
Like that cannabis dude, what's his name?
And I mean, we did lose 90% of our income at one point.
Because of all the rappers going on smoking weed?
No, just because of the adpocalypse. So like we just lost ads on like almost everything for a while.
Yeah, I wish I got in during that time.
Yeah.
But there's a shift. There's a shift that's happening. And I want people to start waking up to that. I'm optimistic about it. I'm optimistic. What would you do if you were in my shoes right now?
That's what I think about all the time. When I saw Steve Will Do It get banned, I'm just trying to think and I'm kind of surprised that he's been pretty quiet since then. I know he's done some podcasts with Bradley Martin and stuff, which I should check out, but he hasn't announced a new game plan for how to get back into the game.
He's doing weekly videos. He's been stocking up on videos for the past couple of weeks.
Oh, he is? And he's doing it on Rumble or what?
On Rumble, yeah. He has like a whole catalog of videos ready to go.
Oh, okay.
Week to week. Yeah,
because for him, it's if you get banned off one platform, his situation is different than yours because he could go hard on TikTok and fucking Facebook and all these other platforms. He could probably make so much goddamn money on Facebook, and he doesn't necessarily need YouTube. But
What's
with
the money on Facebook? How do you do that?
Oh, we make stupid money on Facebook.
How?
You just upload videos, same thing as YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
The same exact videos as posted on Facebook?
Yeah. And it's like the algorithm is so different that you can upload shit more than once and it'll still do good. Like if you go look at fucking Logan Paul's Facebook, or I haven't done this in a few years or whatever, but you'll see him uploading vlogs from 2016 and getting 1 million views off a fucking old vlog, and it'll still do good because Facebook's consumers are so stupid.
I want to text my editor right now about that.
Yeah.
Just upload shit on all the catalog, everything.
I got you a guy. I got a guy that'll do all of it for you.
What cut does he take?
25 or something.
Does work.
That's what he does with mine.
Let's do it.
It's great. But yeah, I mean, I don't know but it feels weird to get banned off one tech platform and then just go, we're going to embrace all the other ones, even though we know that you usually work in unison to ban people. Mm. So how are you thinking about it? You can't have Facebook?
No, I can have Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Zuckerberg is still on the good side.
Right.
And even then, I could still be on YouTube.
Right.
Just have to be more creative about it.
Yeah, so could you be part of a podcast on YouTube?
That's what I want to do. That's the objective right now. I think I need to have one foot in the mainstream, especially the stuff I talk about. I think it's good if I had a mainstream presence and I was working on a squad, because I'm not going to delete the whole squad channel just because I'm on it.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, obviously you're probably too busy and successful to do this, but I was like, what if Sneako just works at No Jumper and makes videos on No Jumper, or even if he had a show on No Jumper, and then it's like why is that band evading?
No, it's not. It's not. I think that would have to be the move, but also I want to continue live streaming. That's the bread and butter. I don't want to be, working under somebody completely. I would do that just so that I could have my face in different places, especially because they're trying to ban me all over the internet. But yeah, I still want to have my core live stream where I could just sit there and talk for 5 hours straight every night. But
so then you went to Twitch and then they got rid of you. So what's the plan now?
So I have different channels now. You know, people can get around bans on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So, and also we're looking for deals on other websites, and I'm gonna start developing my own website, because the secret sauce I'm able to get into. We're talking right now like this is just us spend social media game, but all the traffic from my streams comes in from YouTube Shorts, TikTok, IG Reels. Short form content is how I drive people into my streams. So
really?
that can't go anywhere. If I have a bunch of fans, a bunch of employees working on it, then my face is going to show up on your phone regardless.
Right. But if they really, but I mean, what do you do? If you're Andrew Tate, what do you do? If you're just really not allowed to be on these platforms, what did you talk to him about what his game plan is?
He's been running up on Rumble, streams every week on Rumble.
Really? He just streams on there.
You didn't see it?
No.
I was on it too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just came back from Bucharest.
All right.
When is
I seen some of it re-uploaded on YouTube, but okay, that's where he's actually doing.
Yeah, the numbers are pretty damn good on Rumble too.
How many viewers he has live?
50.
50,000.
Yeah.
On Rumble. Wow.
The first one he had 150.
Wow.
Yeah, they're doing well. And I think
impressive.
YouTube should be afraid of that. YouTube should be saying yo, I think we made a mistake. I'm wondering if they're going to ever flip the ban, especially if everybody thinks it's bullshit, if they're ever going to go back on their word, because it's possible. But
it's possible, but I don't think that we've really seen that happen with almost anybody, right? Milo got banned 6 years ago, whatever.
Off of everything?
Pretty much all at once. I think he got banned off he might still be on Facebook and Instagram maybe, but he definitely got banned off Twitter and YouTube, I believe, at the same time. And they never went back on that, even though their reasoning for banning him was pretty shaky at the time as well.
What'd he do? Because he's gay. He should get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah, and British. It was when that girl version of Ghostbusters came out.
What do you say? You made fun of the female Ghostbusters? What do you say?
Yeah, and I think they got on him for basically causing his fans to go harass, what was her name? Leslie Jones.
All right.
And talk shit to her.
So basically, GD on Pokimane just.
But I'm pretty sure, I don't think that he I never saw a screenshot of a tweet that made me actually believe that he in any way incited them. No. So I felt like that was a good sounding excuse, but normally I would expect to see some proof of this sort of thing, and I never saw anything.
Fat, black, she's good.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You're protected.
What are you, like, okay. Where are you planning on going with this in Miami now? Like, how has your life changed now? What does the new game plan look like? And how long were you depressed when you were in Romania when you first heard about the ban?
I was in London. We took a private jet from Bucharest to London so that Andrew can go on Piers Morgan, and then we were all in London. I was shopping. Then I got the emails. It wasn't. I mean, that night I went on Fresh and Fit and just talked my shit. There's no point in being depressed about it. There's no point in living with regret. There's no point in being sad. Like, I guess some people were telling me like, oh, you deserve to be sad about it for a week. You deserve to what does that do?
Right.
There's nothing to do but just to come up with a new plan and keep moving forward. So, you know, I was doing it for a long ass time. I talk about that all. I grew up on YouTube, but there's no point to sit and wallow. Luckily, somebody in my course, The Creativity Kit, saved all my videos.
Really?
I lost a lot of it. Because I've been doing Call of Duty videos from way back, but someone had a backup. I might just post it on Facebook. That's a good idea.
Right.
I mean, I predicted it. I was talking about it a lot. I think even when you came on my stream, I started.
Yeah, you were prophesizing that this was to come for sure.
Yeah, I just don't think that they want you to hear what I'm talking about. I think it's that simple. I think all the bullshit about misinformation. I got a nudity strike at one point. Cyberbullying, I think, is a bunch of horse shit. I just don't think that they want you to hear anything about what I'm talking about. I think they want to make men weaker, genuinely. And I think I was helping out people. I think I was exposing the truth about a lot of stuff.
I think what's for sure is that you could like offend individual YouTube employees and get banned by those employees. And I would say that that's probably the case with Destiny and stuff, is that he earned the dissatisfaction of like a decent amount of these like trans people and shit who fucking call the shots at Twitch.
One blue-haired employee with the Switch.
Exactly. And if there's just not enough pushback, if there's not enough reasonable people in the room to be like, nah, actually that guy is just sort of a guy. He's not a hate monger, that these things just go through. And then I feel like that once they make the decision, they feel like they can never go back on it. Mm-hmm. The biggest thing that pisses me off in all of this is I feel like there needs to be a court of sorts. Like, you should not just be able to be banned from YouTube completely.
A timeout.
Exactly. That regardless of the fact that we don't think you should have been banned or suspended or whatever in the first place, but if there was a court where it says you harassed another creator or you did this thing that we consider to be against terms of service, or you have this period ban or whatever, and that there was some way that you could plead your case down the road, that just seems like it makes way more sense to me.
Well, it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to make any sense. There's a very clear liberal agenda. I know you said you were leftist, but look at everybody who's been banned. Donald Trump, Alex Jones, me, Tate. All these people are going against the woke agenda, and they need to do something to shut it up because they're actively pushing this and they want everybody to believe in it. It's borderline communism at this point with information.
Right.
If there's a clear reason that everybody on the right wing is getting banned by all these woke people, James Charles, who is texting 17-year-old boys, Cardi B is drugging men, and she's still in the fucking White House.
Right, but if she made a TikTok bragging about drugging men, she would for sure, she would have a problem on her hands.
No.
Yes.
I think it would be trending. They'd make a sound to it, and then all the kids would do it.
Cardi B talking about that back in the day was a product of her existing in a space in which there was nobody to tell her that it was not okay to talk about.
What about James Charles then? Why did they not ban him? And he's like openly texting, like caught multiple times texting little boys and shit.
Well, it's not on platform first, right? Like, it's not like YouTube banning someone for something that they did on TikTok would be a weird state of affairs, right?
That's kind of what happened to me on Twitch. And that's kind of the excuse that they use with Donald Trump or Andrew Tate. They say that they have criminal charges. Donald Trump was inspiring a violent riot. Andrew Tate is a human trafficker. They try to pretend like they're criminals, and there's no criminal record at all. Donald Trump never told anybody to storm the Capitol. Andrew Tate never got in any trouble for human trafficking. It's all bullshit. I went to his house. It's all bullshit.
I agree that you should not have been banned, and I don't understand their reasoning for it. But the problem with it is that I think that the social media companies do have the right to ban whoever they want off their platforms.
Do they, even though it controls information? I mean, social media is the reason that Donald Trump won the election in 2016. If information directly influences elections, then they should not have the right to be able to have a bias, because they clearly do. The only people that are getting banned are against the woke agenda.
I think if you're gonna say that Twitter and Facebook and Instagram don't get to make decisions about who they have on their platform, then they need to be treated like something way different than what they are currently. Because right now they're just businesses that can interview or work with whoever they want. Like the case would be like my podcast, I get to decide who I have on it. So if I think that Sneako is a terrible guy and I don't want to have him on my podcast, then I get to make that decision. Twitter is, in a sense, not any different. It's a platform that can have whatever users they want on their platform. And if they decide that Alex Jones is too unseemly of a person, they can decide that he's just not allowed on their platform.
The problem is they all work together and they all coordinate these attacks.
Right.
Andrew Tate was banned on LinkedIn, Uber Eats, Airbnb. Same thing with me. I banned on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, all at the same time.
Right.
They clearly work together, and especially right before that happened. I don't know if you were on my stream before it happened. They played my clip with Fuentes in the Senate committee. We were making fun of the powers that be, and I did a little song and dance about a specific religion, and they played it in the Senate, and they said that it's a threat, and I'm inspiring domestic terrorism. So I agree with you if they didn't very obviously work together.
Yeah, the fact that they coordinate it and the fact that, like, I do think that they should probably be treated differently than just every other business. Like, I think that at some point, and I think that Facebook, even when you watch Mark Zuckerberg in the fucking Senate hearings or whatever that he was in, he's almost asking them to regulate his business because the amount of power that they have right now is ridiculous. And I think even him, as the guy who created this beast, he knows that it would probably be better off if there was like much stricter regulation around how they were able to operate.
Well, they do tell them what to do. The FBI called them up and they told them that you need to start saying that this misinformation on Hunter Biden's laptop is problematic and is. So they are influenced. They all work together. And I don't like that private company argument. I think the information is too loud, especially Google owns every single Android phone and YouTube is the Google. Right. It's Google's company. It's too powerful.
And when we live in a world in which, like, you know, if you're a small business, let's say that your Yelp rating or your Google rating or whatever is such a gigantic part of your business, the idea that they could then just do whatever they want when this is like the lifeblood of issues that affect small businesses, it just doesn't seem right. Like, at a certain point, there needs to be some kind of oversight. I don't think that these as much as I do think that argument about them having their own First Amendment right to like have whoever they want on their platform, I do think, like, you know, when you look at how big the effect is of having somebody banned in coordination by all these companies at the same time, I mean, it's just like an outsized effect. And we can't just act like it's the same as me and Joe Rogan saying, no, we think that guy's gross, we don't want to have him on the podcast. Like, being deleted off Facebook and Instagram and Twitter is fundamentally way different.
And they should look at, I think it should be obvious to a lot of people the type of content that's able to stay on the platform. Like, you got your Plug Talk show now. Yeah. You can fuck girls on a podcast and then promote right after. You could be smoking weed for years and like promote drug use and stuff like that.
But we have to be careful because when we're doing Plug Talk, it's like we upload these clips on social media and we never really hint at the fact that there's the sex part on OnlyFans. Like, if the TikTok clips ended with "Go watch us fuck on OnlyFans," hell no, we're gone.
But they know, for the most part.
We're trying to get the message out to them as much as possible. Only plugtalk.com. If you're a Sneako fan, go sign up.
Don't.
$5 a month. Beat your meat.
Don't beat your meat. Do not give it makes people sadder, man. It makes these men upset. Bro, you're the one getting all the pussy, and then they're watching, feeling jealous about you, and they want to be you.
Yeah, and it's like, I watch basketball highlights, and then I go out and I kill it on the basketball court. I watch Jamie Thomas skateboard, and then I go to the skate park and I do a fucking kickflip.
Do porn addicts go kill it and fuck a porn star?
They should. That's what you do. You beat your meat, and then you go to the bar and you find a girl and you demonstrate the moves that you just saw Johnny Sins do on women that you met at the bar.
Okay, how did Johnny Sins get to that point?
By watching porn.
No. Shut the fuck. Nah, man. It really ruins guys' ideas about relationships. It's bad for them.
What are you talking about?
Porn is bad for men.
Porn is glorious. If I didn't beat my meat, I would be losing my mind.
You could beat your meat to memories.
Oh, I do. And believe me, I'm one of the biggest advocates of beating your meat to your memories in the world. I
really don't want my fans to go and beat their meat watching you fuck other bitches on a podcast.
You got a lighter? I forgot mine. I got one in my office. I hate interrupting the podcast to fucking ask for a lighter. I could just smoke weed in your face. You're gonna be all right.
Yeah, sir.
You're not gonna hit it though.
I'm a man of God, man.
If you get high, what? Because you're like a Muslim or some shit, or a Christian.
I might take a little hit.
Woo!
I might take a little hit. You see the bad influence, Adam?
Turn up. It must feel weird for you that this is live. That we're talking and people are going to see it in the future.
I miss you, chat. Chat, I need to go back, man. I need to get back. I really miss the energy of having a live audience. Even like now being at a podcast, it feels so much slower. When I have the live pressure of the chat running up, I know how to like stay on all the time. Here I am. I'm like, yeah, porn's good.
But that shit's toxic. Weed. I feel like the
toxic.
chat.
I hate that.
I'm going to be real with you. I feel like the chat is like the biggest difference between a podcast and like a Twitch stream or a live stream, you know, because when we do this and you can see the chat right there. Number one, if the people are not used to being on a podcast, they just get locked on it and they stop talking and you just see them freeze up.
My chat was like being pretty hostile.
No, I don't give a fuck because I'm used to it because I stream all the time. So I'm used to seeing the chat go crazy.
But
negative,
I have a really
whatever.
religious audience. They were calling you like a Satanist and stuff like that, calling you Freemason.
But I'm like expecting that. Like, of course, if it's a religious audience, they're going to think I'm the fucking devil because I have a devil on my hand. Which
a devil on your hand.
Feels like nobody cared about that until I won your stream and you asked me about it. Bro, and then all of a sudden it became a big thing.
It's a big thing now? You know what really took me by surprise? The fact that, and I've been thinking about that a lot, the Bill Clinton autograph that you had as a kid. I'm like, bro, I'm really like deep into these like Epstein Island conspiracy theories now, and those are like the forefront of those people. The fact that you knew them from like way back in the day.
There's no evidence that he actually fucked any children, right?
I don't think any direct evidence. I don't know if we'll ever see it. It's all belief.
Prayers with Bill. Because I really hope, if my memory of Bill Clinton got dismantled by the fact that I found out that he was really running through chicks with Epstein, that would suck. And honestly, the fact that you got a blowjob from Monica Lewinsky, I mean,
that's pretty G.
We already have a reason to believe that he is of questionable moral character, you know? So it's like got head from someone that he was not supposed to get head from in the form of an intern. Went to Epstein's island. What are the odds that he got head from somebody that he wasn't supposed to get head from on the island, meaning an underage person?
Very probable. I think he did. Yeah. He did. And you got his autograph.
I believe that the U.S. government will conspire to protect Bill Clinton from being exposed for fucking children on Epstein's island.
They can't let the public, they don't want the population to know that. Everybody's going to run wild.
I mean, that would just be such a jarring revelation for America.
Nobody would believe it. Or everybody would believe it. Everybody would run wild. Nobody
It'd be a tough day to be an American. It would be a great day to be a Republican.
It'd be a great day to be a content creator.
Yeah, right. Especially if there was like tapes. It was like the R. Kelly tape.
Oh, there's tapes for sure.
Bill Clinton and little girls.
Yeah, they all blackmail each other. Okay. They all blackmail each other. It's out there. There's CP of Bill Clinton, all the billionaires that went to that island. I'm telling you, man. That was like freaking me out because my chat was like, be careful, because they saw the Satanist tattoos, the Bill Clinton thing. You're like, huh. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And you got the upside down cross too. Mm-hmm. How atheist are you?
I mean, I just am an atheist. I don't know how extreme of an atheist you can be.
Doing porn.
I heard a commentator on TV say one time, he goes, I'm a hardcore atheist. And they go, well, what does that mean? He goes, I don't believe in God and I don't believe you believe in God either. And I was like, I kind of relate to that because I kind of feel like everybody when they tell me they believe in God is kind of bullshitting me.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you don't agree, but
No, I do agree.
That a lot of people are.
I don't know about a lot of people, but I have a hard time believing in it fully, but I just think it's good. I think it's good for people to follow that, especially like in the direction that America's going and that a lot of people are going. It's stuff like porn, I think, is like pushing people away from where they need to be mentally.
Well, I can kind of agree with you that if there was a God, if there was somebody who controlled the world and made it so that when people do bad things that they get punished for it and that when people do good things they get rewarded for it, do I think that would be good? Yeah.
Yeah, that's karma.
I just don't think that's real.
But it's better to believe in that. It's better.
What you believe in should be based on what you can observe, not what you think would be the best for the world.
Okay, but you can't observe atheism.
Well, you can observe the lack of evidence of there being a God.
How do you observe that?
I've yet to see any evidence of it.
Love and life, like feeling.
Jesus has not revealed himself to me. Jesus has revealed himself on earth before, right? He's supposed to be coming back.
Right. But what about the connection that you have with your daughter? There's something that you feel. It's a different feeling. When you look into her eyes, there's a different feeling that you get than when you look into my eyes or something like that. That's a feeling.
That doesn't lead me in the direction of believing in God at all.
But I'm saying you can't observe that. That's not something but it's something that you feel and that your daughter feels and that everybody in the room, like that's energy. That's not something you can describe, but it is real.
I could describe it.
But you can't see it. And you're talking about you can't observe God. You can't observe that feeling either.
If I was going to believe in God, I would need a reason, right? Like, especially a specific religion, like Christianity. Like, the idea of believing in a God is one thing. The idea of believing in this specific God based on this book, that of which its origin seems very dubious to me, that I have a real problem with.
Maybe you don't have to believe in a specific religion, but the idea of God, I think, is good to follow.
See, this is the degradation of what it actually means to be religious. Because when I was talking to my mom recently, and I asked her, when you were a kid, what did it mean to be religious? And she said that if you didn't believe in heaven and hell, that nobody would have considered you a Christian. Yeah. If you didn't believe that the Bible was the direct word of God, then there's no way that anybody would have considered you a Christian or religious. These days, people give themselves credit for being religious just by saying, I believe in God. Yeah, like I'm the kind of person that believes in God, etc. And they spend no time reading the Bible or familiarizing themselves with these texts, or they're going to church or trying to familiarize themselves with how God would want them to live their life or whatever. They just say they're religious and then they just move on with it.
Is that wrong?
Yeah, it's stupid. It's just such a surface level engagement with something that's supposed to, if God is real, it should be like the most important thing in your life. You should spend all your time thinking, if I believed that God was real, I would spend all my time trying to get closer to knowing exactly what God wanted for me.
That seems like a waste of time.
Why? If there was a supernatural being that was controlling the universe?
Or you should understand that life is the way it is, and it's just better to follow that. You don't need to constantly seek it, because that's going to drive a lot of people insane.
If there was a God, it would be the most fascinating thing in the whole world. If there was even a hint of evidence of him existing, it would be the most insane thing in the world. Instead, like, religious studies are like the most boring thing in the world because there's nothing to sink your teeth into.
Have you ever met the people that watch Plug Talk?
Sometimes. I would assume it's a lot of the same people that watch No Jumper in general, so it's probably not that different.
What are they like?
Just regular people.
They see people that you would hang out with?
I know a lot of people who watch porn, like really almost everybody.
You watch porn? Yeah. You do?
Yeah.
Do you watch porn? No. Do you watch porn? Yeah.
A couple minutes here and there. You don't watch it? You're not fascinated?
I don't watch porn. I used to a lot. I used to be addicted to it.
Oh, you were addicted. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what addicted is, but I used to like watch it every day.
I've never even been close to feeling like I was out of control.
I wasn't out of control. I wasn't like obsessed with it, but I would watch it. There'd be times like, all right, time to go to bed, open up Reddit, and then look at the specific subreddit and then fall asleep. It was routine. Right. And I think that was a problem.
Let me tell you, when I was young, I was watching porn just because I hadn't seen any of this, and like the idea that I could see a woman get fucked in the ass on the internet once that became an option when I was like 16 or whatever was like the most mind-melting thing on earth. Like, how is this possible that I'm actually going to be able to see this? I just needed to see it.
And then you become desensitized to it very quickly.
After like a couple years when I was young, by the time I was like 20 or 21, I noticed myself not really watching porn and just kind of beating off to like actual sexual experiences I've had. But then I moved to LA and I start like fucking random porn stars and meeting girls. Like, I meet a girl at the club and I know she does porn. I have to go home and search her on Pornhub and find her content and beat my meat to it. I'm sorry. If I meet her in real life and she's done double anal on the internet, I have to see it. Which I don't know why that matters so much.
Yeah, why do you have to see
it? Like, if I've shook her hand,
butthole.
I need to see her do anal. I'm sorry, that's just where I'm at.
You're not shaking that hand and feeling the butthole on it. Like, you're not.
I want to see it.
I get grossed out by that. I get a little grossed out by that.
Anal?
Not by anal, but even just now today, we were doing 1 minute podcast, interviewing people, and these two girls sat down. And they're like, "We're cam girls," and they're both like, "Yeah, you can't do it." And like her nipples kind of like poking out of her shirt, and she's saying, "Well, you need to tip me to see it," and I could still see it. And I'm just like, I don't like go away. Like you're a little gross. It's just the way they're sitting and acting and moving, and like knowing what they do for. It's just.
Yeah, I feel you. Some girls are really fucking annoying about it.
Yeah. Like they have a lack of personality. They don't have. They're not based in reality at all.
Girls who talk about getting tipped or like telling people to subscribe. You know, those clips always go viral. Girls like on Twitch, like, if you don't subscribe, I'm gonna get off. Bleh. Or like, I love the women posting their L's online or whatever, Twitter, and they'll always have like a screenshot of some girl complaining about how she got into OnlyFans and she made like $30 a month and how she hates it and she's gonna cancel it. And it's like,
imagine posting your butthole and making no money off of it, like failing. Your
it's just such a sad story.
Like sometimes, like your business venture, right? Like I understand, like if you wanted to invest in like the Uber for crypto or whatever.
I know I should feel bad for her,
but then imagine your butthole failing.
Yeah, dude.
What else are you gonna do? Like, how do you bounce back from that? You tried everything. That's the last resort, and it failed. It's like, what's next?
And there's been a few times where girls who are falling off or whatever have like tried to like ask me for advice, and it's like, you know, because there is some stuff like, you know, in terms of what social networks you should use or whatever, like how you should promote yourself, what kind of stuff you should post. But, you know, most of it comes down to just how you look. So it's kind of like, if your butthole ain't popping, then
sorry,
they're not copping.
Nice.
It was a rap podcast, so I had to rhyme.
I've been thinking a lot about like the demons and shit like that, especially starting to stream, like seeing how much of religious people watch it. And then there was a specific moment where you texted me with those two girls that you wanted me to do a stream with.
Sky and Rochelle coming soon. Rah rah nups.
And then you were, I was already like on the fence about it. I'm like, demons. And I was like thinking about all the satanic stuff that's going on.
Oh, so you actually are on the edge about interviewing two porn stars. Okay.
No. And then you word for word texted me like, text them back. They'll suck the soul out of you. And I'm like, demons! Like literally, I was already thinking about like Epstein's Island and the satanic worshiping that they're doing. And so they're gonna suck the soul out of you. And then I looked at their Instagrams and like every fucking dude in the industry follows them. Like Bryce Hall, all the LA guys follow her. I'm like, okay, she's Nelk girls followed her. I'm like, bro, this is what she does.
They modeled for them, I think.
They fuck for clout.
Well, that when I told you that they would probably suck the soul out you, I was just being real. Is that I thought you should do content with them, but that also realistically they would probably fuck you.
Yeah, I mean,
just me knowing you and like knowing, I feel like you would meet their standards of fucking. Obviously, I shouldn't speak for them in terms of who they would fuck, but I feel like they would give you a good go.
Do you believe in the exchange of energy? Because it's funny that you're so against that, but guys like XXXtentacion, we're always really in tune with how you should share your energy and how energy can affect how your music sounds and how people resonate with you. And then I think about like, if I did let those girls, you know, still on the fence about. But
do you really think your soul is in your cum? If they suck the soul out of you, it doesn't mean your soul's actually leaving your body.
There is an energy exchange. When you interact with somebody or when you fuck a girl who has like no godly values or a girl who's like really nothing, don't you afterwards like feel a sense of shame? Kind of like the guys that when you finish watching porn and you feel afterwards, you just feel your vibration is lowered. After watching, you know what it is? After you watch a lot of porn, after like scrolling to the 60th tab to find the right video of the right anal, whatever the fuck.
I don't let myself get that deep into it.
But when that's happened, you know what I'm talking about. And then like you leave your room.
I just jerk off for like 5 minutes and whatever I find on Pornhub, that works.
You've never been down a porn hole?
No. Like I'll jerk off for like 5, maybe like 10 or 15 minutes at most.
Then maybe not you, but guys watching you know what I'm talking about. You're on the 60th tab trying to find the right video, and then you leave your room and you're like, and there's a little bit of cum on your shirt. And then you got the lotion and you just like, you're vacant look in your eyes and you're kind of like a troll.
If this is in lieu of everything else, like if I'm neglecting my child and my wife to go jerk off, yes, there's a problem.
Guys that are addicted to porn get to that level.
I'm abandoning my business so I can sit at home and jerk off, yes, what you're saying is true. That's not it. This is like a 5-minute thing. It's like smoking a fucking cigarette before you go in the office. Except you do that outside the office. I'm not going to jerk off by the dumpster or anything.
But you don't think that there is an exchange of energy?
It's me and myself, me and my hand.
Okay, then maybe not, but like with you and a girl.
Okay, this I kind of agree with though, because when I was single, I have a lot of memories of like times where despite being drunk and coked up that I would still just have this like moment of realization of like,
what am I doing?
Yeah, or you wake up in the morning and you look at the girl and she's like a limp, dead fish.
And like her hair is not, the wig is fucked up.
The makeup is smeared and it's like all these things that you are
get breakfast?
easily ignoring. in the heightened drug enhanced state is just gone, and she is just a straight Magikarp, just a blob of death and despair.
And the birds are chirping, and the sun's coming out, and people are like getting in line for the bus to go to work, and you're there with this fucking four with her wig,
and she has nothing to do. That can be terrible.
No
when you
job.
realize, like, I have all these things I want to do today, and she has nothing to do.
Get the fuck out of my life.
Yes.
And then even when she does leave, she's still there. Like it's still like weighing in the room like a cloud of smoke, a cloud of thought is still layered there. And then your vibration is lowered. You're there trying to do work, and you're like, oh, fuck. And you're thinking about that dumb bitch that you spent all this time with.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, look at it. And you're cringing at all the shit that you lied to her about and listened to the conversations about her spiritual journey and her crystals. And
I don't think you should hang out with someone you hate just to have sex with them, although,
but
I mean, that's fair to do if you want to.
We all do it. You do that.
I do content. It's a
you
business.
Make money off of it. Okay, but
yeah.
but this is why you're different than most guys, because you're monetizing those dumbass conversations.
Right.
But a lot of the guys that you're saying like, oh, look, you could watch porn and get better at it, they need to put up with all this bullshit. They need to go, and that's why girls get gassed up and they make no sense. And that's why like the girls who are like, tip me, they don't need to be likable at all, because guys will just put up with them for a little bit of a nut. So
I wouldn't put up with it.
You wouldn't, maybe not, but you're a multimillionaire who's been doing it for a long time. I think the disconnection here is that when you get into the content creation space for so long, and I've had a lot of conversations similar to this, with guys like Bradley Martin, Nelk, Andrew Tate, they don't really understand the vast majority of their audience at that level. You have millions of subscribers.
Right.
Most people, you know this, are not even close to being able to fuck two girls on a podcast and make money off of it. That's a level of fame and clout and podcasting abilities and all that most people will never
I'm aware
reach.
that I'm not relatable in that way.
You are?
I'm not.
Okay.
And that, like, you know, if I talk about what bitches are like, it's just not what most people are dealing with.
With 99% of men.
Even when I talk to other porn star dudes and I realize the extent to which they get to know chicks by being on set with them for like 10 hours straight, I'm like, damn, I'm only around them for like an hour and a half. I just interview them, bang them, and then I go sit in the other room.
You got a great setup going.
Yeah. But anyway, I still think dudes should jerk off.
Or do if you want to, but
jerk off. You'll be fine.
I have found, like, when I was really successful, when I was really getting to the top of the streaming shit, I 10x my revenue stream. I started making connections. I'm here now. I used to watch this shit in my dorm
This is all because you stopped jerking off.
Semen retention is a real thing. It makes you more powerful. Like, protecting your energy, I'm telling you, like, young guys watching this, it is a real thing. If you focus on self-improvement, on eating the right foods, drinking the right water, not drinking tap water, not jerking off, sleeping on the right time, and then going out in the sun, not like scrolling on social media, reading all this negativity, writing YouTube comments and hating. If you protect your energy and you focus on what you need to do, the potential of your life is way bigger than you ever expected.
I just feel like for me to protect my energy also means jerking off periodically. I think you should limit yourself. I think you should give yourself a cap. If you're jerking off more than 2 times a day, that could be an issue.
A lot of guys, like, I would say 50% of the men watching this are at that level.
I don't know.
No?
I don't know. Maybe.
What is that with, how do you protect your energy by jerking off? I don't understand that. It's the release so that you make sense again?
Because, listen, when I jerk off afterwards,
let me hit that one time.
You could hit this. Can we go get another one from that thing, Donnie? You could take that one. Or you want to grab me from that goat head in the other room.
There's a goat head in here too?
It's like a Satan head too.
Why do you have all this Satan shit in here, Adam?
It's the vibes. It makes me feel good.
No, haram. I need them to do a prayer after this. Satan makes you feel good?
The vibes.
What is the Satan
It's
vibe?
like a porcelain like Satan head.
Why do you have that?
Zach from FTP gave it to me.
Why did he give it to you?
Because we're brothers of the same mind, that we like devil shit, I think. I don't know. I don't want to speak for him.
Explain to me what you like about devil shit.
Vibes. It looks cool. You ever draw like a little devil head with the horns on a piece of paper?
I've never done that.
It's cute. Remember the little devil guy with World Industries, the skate company?
No.
People loved him.
But I don't get the vibe of Satan.
Well, being that I don't believe in any of it, it's kind of, thank you.
You like rebelling against it? I mean, you can not believe in it, also not encourage. Satan is the opposite of God. It's funny that you like the vibe of Satan, but here's the funny part. You actively deny the existence of God, but also like the vibe of the opposite of God.
Just like drawings and imagery, or, you know, if it were to be evoked in art in some way, that to me is fun. But I don't mind God in the same way. I have some pants with like God and Moses and all this shit that somebody gave me, and I was rocking those, and nobody even bothered to ask me, hey, why is Jesus on your pants?
So what's the vibe? The evil vibe? The bad vibe? Because Satan is literally a bad vibe.
There's only so many different types of images that you could really use. Why are you ashing that? You didn't even light it yet.
It's all ash. I don't want to get you sitting all messed up.
There's only so many like images from that period in terms of like old shit. It's like the same reason why the Sistine Chapel looks cool, man. It's just some old art. And the devil too is just badass.
Why is the devil badass? I really want to know this.
You ever see like a Slayer shirt?
Yeah.
That shit's tight. It's a bunch of evil shit. It looks cool. Cannibal Corpse. All these metal bands who rap or who make music about evil shit, it looks tight. It looks so tight that black kids wear it from fucking Urban Outfitters that don't even know what the fuck it is.
Is Slayer satanic imagery, or is it just like the font? I don't think they have like actual goat heads and Satan tattoos and upside down crosses.
It's a lot of evil shit.
Yeah.
Because it's cool. Meanwhile, on the other hand, there's no good music about God.
Donda's amazing. That's not true.
No, it's not.
Donda is a great album. Jesus is King, I've been listening to that on repeat.
That's the only religious music you're familiar with?
I like gospel music.
Okay.
I like rappers that believe in God. Tupac talks about murder a lot, but he talks about God sometimes. 50 Cent raps about God sometimes. A lot of rappers don't go fully into it, but I've been listening to Donda and Jesus is King on repeat. Every hour, every minute.
I listened to it one time.
It makes me feel better. When I listen to devil music, I feel my vibrations lower. Like
Marilyn Manson, the beautiful people, the beautiful people.
Yeah, like, and then you're in your car and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm headbanging, getting into it.
Yeah, but there's something negative about
That's
that.
like the same way I can listen to like a Pooh Shiesty song about sliding on my ops, spinning the block, and shooting somebody in the fucking head.
You're not thinking about anything positive when you do that.
It's like watching a horror movie.
Did you watch the Jeffrey Dahmer thing?
I watched the first episode. I didn't really.
I think that shit is sick. I think that shit is terrible.
I don't think anybody's in denial about the fact that it's sick, right? He was a fucking dude killing.
I think it's sick that there's a Netflix show about it. That everybody worships them and all these girls are obsessed with it. The fact that you probably like the producer girl. Are you obsessed with? Do you watch murder documentaries?
I watched the show.
Yeah.
I like how he's just stereotyping Sydney.
Well, I'm right. I'm right. Like every girl watches these murder crime documentaries. Girls fall asleep watching it. Just now,
I know.
On the plane here, this girl was falling asleep watching Jeffrey Dahmer eating bodies on Netflix. Like, why are people falling asleep to this?
Because there's a crisis in masculinity. Men are being encouraged to just be this weak, emaciated version of themselves, right? And so at the same time in history, we're finding women drawn to like portrayals of the most extreme evil men who've ever walked the face of the planet.
That's a good point. But it's all the symptom of something negative. It's all the symptom of a godless country, of satanic ideas being pushed on people. The fact that girls are upset, men are becoming weaker, women are becoming stronger. The household is getting messed up. There's no more God. There's more porn. There's more OnlyFans.
Yeah, like at a time where women feel less oppression than ever, they, for some reason, have become obsessed with watching these portrayals of basically men who would kill them.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not saying I understand it. I could think of a few guesses.
That's a great point. Are you insinuating that women inherently want to be afraid a little bit? They want to live in some sort of fear, because that's the whole point of watching a murder documentary, is that it triggers their emotions. Oh my God, this is terrible. And they could fall asleep to it. They kind of like feeling emotionally scared. And if it doesn't happen in real life, because if your life is like, if you're in wartime, if you're in Iraq, you're in Syria, you're not watching murder documentaries, you're not watching Jeffrey Dahmer. Your world is already, you need to relax. You're going to watch like Adventure Time.
Like it's a horrible feeling when I ask like a gang member, have you seen this show? And it's like a gang related show. And they are like, no, I don't fucking spend my time sitting around watching, like, especially like an older dude. Yeah. Who's like been through it all, had a shitload of his family members killed, whatever. And he's just like, doesn't want to spend his free time watching content about the shit that he basically went through. And I'm over here enjoying this show.
It's dope.
Thing is dope because I didn't directly live through it.
Yeah, I think we're turning real life experiences into entertainment too much. I mean, you see it on this podcast too, like the amount of gang members that come on here, and the drill music is becoming more popular, and it sounds dope. I'm not gonna lie, drill music sounds really good. Demonic music is addicting to listen to. It's fun, but it's fun because it's real. We don't like hearing imaginary stuff. Anything that's popping off on Netflix is a real life documentary now, and there's still families of these victims out there for Jeffrey Dahmer. Imagine them seeing that happen.
Oh yeah, I feel terrible for them.
But everybody still indulges.
Like, I know a girl who lost her fiance recently, died. And when it happened, like, she's kind of a public figure, he's kind of a public figure, but they're not like huge names. And when it happened, for a moment, I was like, oh, fuck, it's going to be all in the media and shit. And then it wasn't. They just didn't really figure it out. They didn't put it together. They didn't, because if they had, it would have been a fucking good story. And I was so happy for her that she did not get covered in the media, because what she went through, losing her fiance, would have been so much worse.
To relive it in social media.
Yeah, and having to read comment sections of people passing judgment on her.
Conspiracy theories about
it
what
would
happened.
100%
Maybe she did it.
Exactly. It 100% would have gone in that direction of people like trying to imply that she was responsible and shit. It would have been terrible. And it didn't happen. And luckily she was spared. But the Jeffrey Dahmer thing is an example of like, these people just have to live through this over and over and over.
But even before the men becoming weaker and women becoming stronger, what they showed in that show, and I know this because I was tuning in on the airplane with that girl a little bit, he had fans. He was in the jail cell and they were sending him letters. I'm your biggest fan. Here's some money. And that was in the 70s. So even before feminism really took over, there was still this fascination with murderers it lives in our society more in the West with the lack of traditional values compared to any other place. There's no way that this would happen in the Middle East. There's no way this would happen in Asia. But that a serial killer would be a celebrity.
But I mean, throughout 99% of human history, the king of the society, the guy who had the most control, was the guy who was the biggest and toughest and killed the most people. And now we live in a world where it's not like that, and where we make an effort, if someone's violent, they get thrown in prison, and we make these documentaries about people like Jeffrey Dahmer who managed to evade the system for a period of time and do a lot of evil. And I mean, I guess it's pretty understandable that some percentage of women, apparently a large percentage, would be fascinated with the types of men who, in a lot of ways, would have like ruled society for most of society.
Dahmer wasn't even doing like, he was killing gay guys and eating their body. It was just doing sick shit, like satanic shit.
Yeah, he wasn't like
your shit
doing it.
Goat shit.
Yeah, I'm with him. Me and Jeffrey Dahmer, same type of guy.
Yeah, it wasn't like powerful.
Yeah.
It was just doing sick, disgusting,
You're
vile
right.
shit.
Because if this was a documentary about a guy killing women, then you could kind of go in the direction of like, oh,
and they both get fans. Dahmer gets fans, and so I don't know, but I think it's a reflection of something sick that lives in the minds of all of us.
But the gravitation towards negativity is just such a consistent thing. Like Sunny V2 has one of the biggest YouTube channels that I watch everything he uploads. Every single title is about somebody's life or career going in a bad direction, something really, really bad happening to them.
You love this negative shit, man.
But that's a guaranteed way to get views. If you title the video, how so-and-so had a great life and died a happy man,
that does well.
you're not clicking that. Hell fucking no. Nobody's clicking on that. But
how
the
to get
idea
rich videos, like positive motivational videos, do well.
How to get rich is a certain genre.
That's pretty much how this guy became happy and how he died successful, is how to get rich.
If I make a 1-hour video called "Why Sneako is a Piece of Shit,"
oh, it does way better than
I'm
why
getting a million
Sneako's a good
views.
person. Yeah, yeah.
Rather than why
like Sneako.
everybody is wrong about Sneako.
Yeah.
Even that could maybe get some views because it's implying that I'm going to be talking about people who don't like you. But if I just title the video,
Why
Sneako is
sucks.
a great guy. I love Sneako.
Nobody's
Boom.
clicking it.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
And they're going to call you dick rider.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to
Sounds
say, like, why are you
stupid as
dick
fuck.
riding? But if you say something negative, like in a 3-hour video, like you're like, yeah, good job.
For a moment, I could say something negative about you on a 1-hour stream, and boom, that's going to get, even if I don't upload it, somebody else is going to upload it as a short or whatever, and that's going to go crazy. We're incentivized to be negative by these platforms.
I don't think it's just the platforms. It's just what we're
It's also human nature. But
it's human nature. That's why fighting does well.
Yeah.
Nobody watches hugging. We watch UFC fights. We want to see someone lose. We want to see someone win.
Right. So, I guess you're a professional head getter. You don't like to get in the guts. Why is that?
It's easier. The cleanup's right there.
Because I fuck with it. I was always a guy that was trying to fuck unprotected. When I look back at it now, I was a wild boy. That's a lot of trust in a random hag that you really don't know from a can of paint.
A lot of energy exchange.
But with the mouth, I mean,
the mouth is less.
It's spit. There's no blood. There's no fluids. There's no risk of pregnancy.
A lot easier.
There's no reproductive
I would argue it feels
tract.
better. I would argue the actual feeling, just that alone, feels better.
Listen, there is elite head out there. I would say that the average woman is not giving prime level head, but every pussy's wet. Well, maybe not, but
true.
you could get it wet.
Yeah,
you could
that's not true.
slobber on it a little bit.
A pussy's just like an open wound. It's a gaping hole in a woman's body.
Yeah, and that's why I hate when women are like, I give head all the time, and these dudes don't want to eat pussy or whatever. It's like, listen, it's not the same.
No.
If I stuck this lighter in my mouth right now, which I won't, that would be like sucking a dick. Licking a vagina is like a pit of mucus and fleshy tissue and
babies come out of there.
Periods and
but to
pee
insinuate that the lighter is just like a dick that's a big.
I'm just saying, it's like it's not the same. How much residue could my dick really be hiding?
I don't know. I don't want to know. Don't want to think about that.
Not that much. It couldn't be that bad.
It can be. It could be bad. It could be bad.
Right. But it's like almost impossible to get AIDS from heterosexual vaginal sex.
Yeah, you told me that. Is that really true? I heard that from a lot of people, from even the guys in Romania were all saying that. Yeah. That like AIDS is a gay thing.
It mostly is. They try not to talk about that because it's considered homophobic to acknowledge that reality.
Yeah, please don't clip that.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm not scared of getting canceled.
No?
You aren't either, are you?
It's already done.
But I mean further.
What are they going to take?
Like, okay, let's say tomorrow you wake up and on Twitter, #1 search term, Sneako. #1 on trending. And it's like all hate. Are you having a bad day? Or are you just like, hell yeah?
Depends on what about. Because that's happened to me when I made fun of Muslims. It got pretty bad to that level. And then my family's calling me. Really? Friends are saying, like, then it's getting bad. But if it's like a bunch of people on Twitter, it really depends on what it is. If
it's a bunch of woke people just saying, fuck Sneako, he's an asshole.
For what reason? Because there's always a reason with social media.
I mean, like, let's say they clip, because that can be weird to get canceled for something that you like. Like, I've had, like, I said something that I thought was pretty fucking funny. And then somebody just like put the clip up of me saying it, and they're like canceling me for it, and I'm like, that shit was funny. Like,
yeah, they hate you on Twitter.
I'm like kind of hyped. Like, this shit was funny. Like, you guys are calling more attention to it. I'm sorry.
Well, they said like this guy's pushing 40 when you tweeted, I can't think about Meg Thee Stallion's babies. Yeah. Fighting over.
But that's a weird one that's super consistent with me. Is if I say anything about like rap or anything with youth culture or anything,
pushing 40.
Somebody literally quote tweeted a thing where I said something about how I was obsessed with the mental image of Tory Lanez and the baby's sperm duking it out in Meg Thee Stallion's reproductive tract. Yeah. Weird. And somebody quote tweeted it and just put a screenshot of my name on Google with 38 years old. And they got like 40,000 likes.
Yeah, that popped off.
That's a weird feeling to realize that many people are hyped on somebody dunking on you.
That's Twitter.
But I mean, of all the things I could be getting dunked on, being kind of immature for my age I'm fine with. That's great.
You don't mind that?
No, I mean, people say terrible things about me. That's great.
Same thing with Twitter. Someone's saying Adam22 is a great podcaster. That's never gonna go viral.
We should try it out.
It's not gonna work.
You don't have social media.
I ban on Twitter.
You can post on Rumble.
No, I'm waiting for a deal. I'm not giving him free promotion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you brought him up a lot.
What's the other options? Truth Social? You can get a deal with them.
My own website or going back on YouTube.
Or what's Nick Fuentes' website?
Cozy TV.
You can join that.
Yeah, but the type of people on there are very different, and I think we'll see.
I just did an interview with Mr. Girl.
How was that?
Insane.
Guy's a weirdo?
Him and cool? Flacco were arguing so crazy. Flacco just called him like a rapist and a pedophile and like
jokingly or for real?
No, for real.
Because the guy gave me Pedophile. I didn't even know that people called him that. I got on one call with him like, this guy.
I didn't really feel like by the end of it that I got to the bottom of where he stands on that.
So why did he get called a pedo?
Well, I guess part of it was that he said that the girls in Cuties were hot.
Oh.
He's talking about like 10 and 11-year-olds. And I was
He
just
said
like...
that on the podcast?
I guess he had said that previously, and Flacco called him out for that. Flacco was just such an asshole in it that it was almost like no matter what Mr. Girl was saying, Flacco still looked like a dick. And then I was like, I wouldn't say they were hot no matter how they were dressed up or whatever because I'm not attracted to them. And he goes, well, what if a male stripper who was in great shape walked in? You'd be able to say he's hot, right? And I'm like,
what?
Okay, like you could say he's hot because you understand that the average woman would find him hot, but...
That was the analogy he made?
I mean, yeah. I mean, he kind of... I mean, it was just so weird. I'm like, why would you say this? Like, why would anybody subject themselves to...
It's really hard to defend being attracted to 10-year-olds.
But I just don't feel like throughout the conversation that I figured out what he actually thinks about that.
Maybe he's a guy that just likes saying crazy things, crazy takes.
I thought you don't like him, right? Don't you know about him?
I talked to him one time on a panel. I'm like, this guy's giving
on
me,
that. Oh, because
on Destiny's you gave me pedophile. Actually, it's funny. We argued about that movie because I defended it. I think it was pointing out exactly the opposite of what Mr. Girl's talking about.
Now I'm remembering that I figured out
from
who he was from that panel.
A word.
And then I watched him do the white grievance panel, where he basically said that it's fucked up that white people are the only group of people that aren't able to be proud of being white or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
So you like the Kanye White Lives Matter merch?
I love it.
You would rock it?
I want to buy it.
You love this reactionary shit. You like anybody who's just doing some edgy shit.
It's not edgy. You were the one with the Satan and the goat head talking about edgy shit.
Fair.
First off.
Okay, but if you want to compare your political views to the way that I view religion, where I'm just making a joke out of it, that's probably not a good thing in your favor.
No, but I don't think I just like align with things that are edgy. It's stuff that I actually believe. I think that Black Lives Matter, which was a bunch of brainwashing bullshit, it was a bunch of sheep mentality, just people getting riled up over nothing. And then for someone to call it out, especially Candace Owens and Kanye, two black people, I'm really happy about. And it's really interesting. Kanye is going down the same pipeline that me and Fuentes are going down, talking about bots and red pill and about who owns the banks and about who controls the media, stuff like that. He's been talking about all the same things, and then you see what happened. Kanye just got banned from Chase Bank.
Bro, that's some wild
just like
shit.
Fuentes, man.
The fact that they can do that is scary. Flacco's been trying to line it up. I'm shook.
Oh, Fuentes?
I don't really want to sit with this guy, but Flacco's dying to talk to him.
Why don't you want to sit with him?
Because he's like a Nazi, right?
No. He's a white nationalist. He's not a Nazi.
Yeah, even just that is a little problematic for me.
What does that even mean?
I mean, I'm bringing him into an office full of black people.
But he's not. He's a white nationalist. He's just proud of being white. You can be black and proud. Why can't you be white and proud?
I just worry that the messaging might be a little tough for me to make sure I get that across to everybody in the office. That yes, I'm bringing a white nationalist in for an interview, but
I don't even know if
we're just talking.
I don't know. Like recently, I watch a lot of his content. He doesn't really lead with that anymore. It's mostly just about America first. Yeah. And he's talking about Israel. He's talking about China. He really cares about America.
But and that's kind of part of the problem, right? Is
that he cares about America?
Well, no, that would be like normalizing him or letting him come in and sort of give like a
platform,
a clean version of his platform when the reality of what he's into might be a little bit darker.
I think he's a good guy. He's a man of God. He's a very proud Catholic.
Part of me wants to interview him just because it would be exciting.
It would be
interesting.
Yeah, a lot of people would tune into him that haven't heard about him before. I think a lot of it is just an image that people paint of somebody who's completely against the agenda.
Why are his fans called the Groypers?
Some 4chan shit.
I just don't. I was Googling it. I was trying to figure out what the fuck it meant. I couldn't figure it out.
I think, yeah, you should have some. You should have him on.
Right.
It's good to have different people.
Right.
Especially someone like him. I always believe that if you're really canceled, if you're really censored to that level, he's debanked. He's on a no-fly list, banned off of every social media platform. Even on Rumble, I think he's banned. And Getter. Even the alternative sites are like, this guy's too much.
Why did they ban him off Rumble? What did he do?
Because I think when you start telling the truth, it just doesn't fit in with what they're trying to push.
Like, even Rumble?
Yeah.
Even these alt tech sites are banning him. I wish I could know why.
I'm not saying that. I don't know if he's banned on Rumble, but I know that he is not a fan. And I'm guessing that even Rumble is like, we don't want you on this platform because then money corrupts. And you got to see where the money goes. The money is pushing against anything of that nature. I think that if you're censored, you must be saying something right. I align with all those people. Kanye getting banned from Chase Bank, getting banned from Instagram or Twitter. Trump getting banned off of every social media platform, Milo, these people that I thought were bad at first, even Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Jordan Peterson.
So you think the Klan is right?
No,
or like ISIS?
No.
I mean, they're getting banned off social media too, right?
I'm talking about specific people. The Taliban still has a Twitter account.
Right. But I think there's
I'm talking about individuals who have a voice.
They're limited in what they're allowed to say on there.
Who?
I think you need to like break terms of service realistically. So you could be like a Klansman or a Taliban guy with Twitter. You just aren't allowed to say death to the Jews meeting. Or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Or go to this meeting.
My point is,
you're not allowed to say that. That's interesting.
I think these canceled individuals, terrorist groups, you cannot put them in the same category. But every single canceled dude or person, even they usually have they're speaking a level of truth that they're trying to hide. It's bigger than just problematic or platforming the problem, it's bigger than that. I think that people are just inclined to not believe in what's real.
So you don't think that these girls that you're getting random dome from, you don't think that they're stealing something from you? You talk about protecting your energy, but you're letting random thoughts slurp you up?
I am trying to be better. I'm trying to be better. We're not perfect, Adam. We all sin.
We're not.
We all sin.
Yeah.
Ideally, you wouldn't need that. Yeah.
You're just still looking for the right one. And until then, you're just getting slurped up.
I think you could do both.
Right.
I think you can multitask.
That's the battle for anyone.
For mostly men, not really women.
Well, but you need to be finding the person that you want to settle down with without getting lost in the fun and the excitement and the craziness of just being on the hunt. So that's been my thing that I've said, and it's probably because I don't watch enough of the content, but I feel like a lot of people in the manosphere talk about girls, but they don't talk enough about
love,
how to actually find a girl and settle down and have a consistent thing.
No, they don't. Patrice talked a lot about it, and Patrice was like the godfather of the red pill space. A lot of his content was figuring out how to manage that and also keep his girlfriend around, which that's the most difficult part. But these guys, I hang out with all of them, like they're not looking for that at all. These guys are like, I'm going to find that feeling of love, that belonging from a group of friends, from a brotherhood, being around like your actual brother. That is a better connection and protects your emotions and lets you lead and keep your frame and your masculine energy all the time without ever slipping up. When you start falling down that pipeline of like settling down, falling in love, finding the right one, booby bear, and giving her a hug, that's when you start losing your man essence that got you successful in the first place.
That's not necessarily true. Like all the most successful men in the world have wives, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Kanye got divorced.
Yeah, that's like one lunatic celebrity.
Bezos was divorced a couple times. Elon Musk was divorced many times. It's like it's the right one until it's the next one.
Right. But I mean, just because some relationships go bad at some point, I mean, there's a reason why people are attracted to the idea of being in a long-term monogamous or at least committed in some way relationship.
It's comfort.
Yeah.
And if you could find that comfort outside while still fucking bitches and doing what you want to do, then isn't that ideal? Like, if you can find that comfort outside of a relationship, isn't that safer for your business? If you treat yourself like a business and you prioritize your time is better spent not ever being vulnerable. If you can sacrifice that vulnerability and just have that comfort with your friends or people that aren't going to run away and get emotional, then you're going to be more successful.
But it sounds like you're advocating for guys sort of cobbling together like a sense of connection through having really close friendships with your friends and then getting the romantic part through just random sex. And I think from my experience in the long run, it's just not worth it. That just being in a committed relationship, once you find somebody you actually like being with, it allows you to be way more focused. Because when you're juggling a bunch of different girls that you're talking to, it's super hard to focus on whatever you're trying to accomplish. Never mind the process of going out and trying to meet more girls. Holy fuck, it's such a time-consuming affair. And then to think that even like one date with a girl, you might be spending like 6 hours going out with her or some shit, 8 hours, whatever. I mean, it's just super bad for your productivity. And
a relationship could be a big detractor of your time too. You know that.
Yeah, if you let it be. But a good relationship allows for each person to be better than they would be on their own.
What was the last fight you had? Honestly.
We got in a fight. Oh, we got in a fight because I was like waking up and she threw the kid onto me while I was sleeping. And in some way, the kid collided with my testicles. And it was a really, really painful way to wake up.
Okay, how'd you fight? How long did it last?
I just kind of like yelled at her for like 30 seconds. And then that was sort of it.
Didn't she yell back?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's not that bad.
We've like fought. We've like gotten good at fighting, so we just kind of like let it out, and then we sort of move on quickly.
Mm-hmm. You need that release. You need to yell, call her a bitch, or whatever you do.
Well, dude, I was waking up and I just got hit in the nuts,
Yeah.
and she's just like,
"What did you say? Do you remember?"
I was just like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" See, I'm really gonna have to get control of that once the kid can control, like once the kid can understand more. I'm gonna have to stop saying stuff like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Because then the kid's gonna know what I'm saying.
But that's not a fight. So you're fine.
Well, what's a fight? It has to go for like days?
I've had some bad ones.
Really?
Yeah, that I don't consider a fight. That's just like a little bicker.
We have to beat each other?
No. Well,
that would be a fight.
No, I've never beat a woman. No.
No.
I've had really dramatic like TV show soap opera fights.
That's the one thing that's great about my girl is that she's just very
laid back,
low temperature. So it's like if I was to get heated, she's good at just sort of bringing the heat level down.
What about when she's on her period?
She can get a little bit more unreasonable, yeah.
But never a crazy level doing it. She's never done crazy shit.
Not like real psycho shit. She'll like demand more attention, or she'll like kind of get mad at me about some random shit that doesn't make that much sense.
How long did it get to that level of comfortability? You've been with her for a long time, right?
6 years.
Yeah. How long did it take to get to the level you're at now?
Kind of changed a lot over time. It's been a rocky ride. Not that rocky though.
How many times have you broken up?
Really none.
Really?
No.
Wow.
Like we've got into it to the point that we were like kind of discussing breaking up, but never really to the point of like actually doing it.
Never been ghosted? Or you never ghosted her?
Nah, not really.
For 6 years.
That would be wild, huh? Just like take off for a few days.
Yeah, that's never happened.
Peace. Go to Vegas.
Fuck that. Gotta be panicking.
God, she would be so bummed.
Oh, if you took off to Vegas? I was thinking about her.
No, she didn't take it off.
We got a kid. Like no. You've been together 6 years. The kid's new. Right. By the way.
But if I were to be like, I'm mad at you, so I'm going to go to Vegas and do coke and fuck hookers.
Yeah.
And ignore your texts. Oh, my God. I don't know if the relationship could really survive that.
How much have you changed since fatherhood? These guys always tell me when they have their first kid that they suppress that urge and stuff like that. But you kind of embrace the fact that most people would consider you immature. I would say like most normies, even though you do what you want, you live a dope life.
I'm kind of like immature in my interests, but in terms of like how I run the business and shit, I would think that I'm pretty mature.
Yeah, you're on your
in terms of being a dad,
how did it change?
It makes you take everything in your life a lot more seriously. And so that's why, for me particularly now, the idea of spending my time chasing pussy, given that I have a kid, is just no chance. It's just, I can't justify spending my time on that kind of thing.
What was it like getting comfortable doing plug talk and doing porn?
I'm a natural. I mean, I remember I had this one weekend in Vegas, right? And there's this girl hitting me up. And this is before No Jumper and everything. So I'm still like a BMX guy. I'm in Vegas for this BMX Awards night show thing. And this girl's hitting me up, and I don't want to fuck her, right? Because she's kind of ugly. And she shows up at the awards show with her friend who's hot as fuck. And they're both like all over me. And I realized pretty quickly that they want to fuck me together. And at one point, somehow, the hot girl starts making out with me, and the other girl drops to her knees and starts sucking my dick in the middle of this fucking award show, like party type vibe. And I just like look over, and I just realize that like 50 fucking people are like staring, like, can I believe what's happening? And I did not mind.
You didn't flinch at all?
No, it didn't bother me at all. And then we left, we go to the hotel room. I'm fucking the shit out of him, and I'm posting it on Snapchat, but like not the actual sex, but like everything else.
Yeah.
And people are like hitting me up left and right about it. And I didn't mind that attention at all. And yeah, I don't know. I always felt like I kind of gravitated towards it. And it wasn't until I met my girl that I kind of started to realize that I really didn't mind filming and shit. I think it's been great for me.
Tell me more about it. Why do you think it's been great?
Because I like doing it, and we make good money doing it. It's almost weird going in there just knowing like, oh, I gotta fuck 3 times today. And that's like a lot of work. That's like me being very productive. That's like me getting way ahead on the calendar. Like that would be the same as me coming in here and doing like 8 meetings back to back or doing like 5 interviews back to back. Like a real hard day at work. Pumping. But then also I have to fuck 3 times. It's just like such a weird feeling. You should try it.
Nah.
Start doing porn.
Nah.
Your fans would love it.
I'm good, bro.
You just because you backed yourself into this hole of like having to pretend that you're anti-porn.
I really believe in that.
Yeah.
You think I'm grifting?
I just think you're jerking off.
I'm really not.
Same as all of us.
I don't watch porn. I might be my meat once in a while, but I'm really not. I'm in tune with the vast majority of people, and most people just couldn't live that life and couldn't do that. I think it's just better to not promote that, and it just lowers your vibration.
What the fuck does that mean? I'm vibrating, bro. I'm jiggling.
Would you ever create like some great movie or a great album or create great? I want to create great art, and for me to get there, like I need to be so clear mentally and be thinking about the right things and protect my energy. I can't do it without being free of that.
You know, sometimes I think maybe I should try new things. Like instead of doing
the same thing,
a million podcasts
for years. You've been doing this for long time,
grinding out content quantity. That maybe I should take some time and do a documentary.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get into music. Maybe I should start making beats. Maybe I should start.
We've talked to so many artists.
Being in the stew until 2 a.m. every night.
You can make a studio here easily.
We kind of have one. I don't know.
You have a studio.
Yeah, we have a studio.
I want to make music eventually.
I don't know. I feel like I'm good at this. Should stay focused on this. This is the future. Content.
Yeah, but it's not. How much of this is about money and how much of it is about inspiring? And like when you did that show in New York, how much of that do you like? You like the crowd interaction, or are you thinking about the ticket sales the whole time?
I mean, honestly, talking about podcasting though, it's kind of like the Plug Talk thing where it's like, it feels really good. I like doing it. I'm having a good time. I like doing this. I would realistically do this for free. You know?
Podcasting?
Yeah. Like if they said like, Adam, you're on the blacklist for some reason, can't make any money from putting shit on YouTube or whatever, I would still want to do it. Even if I had a fucking day job.
I always want to keep elevating what I do.
Right.
I started YouTube doing Call of Duty commentaries and then upgraded to a webcam and then got rid of the gameplay and then got a cameraman, started doing street interviews, started editing more, started taking cinematic shots, getting better cameras. And then I got really good at speaking, so I started live streaming, and every single live stream got better from there. I'm the type of person that I constantly need to evolve and grow, and I consider this an art form. That's why I got into YouTube, because I thought it was like freedom of expression. And you were like, and I did Academics podcast yesterday. You both, and Keemstar, Vlad, these people, they find a formula of like how to generate content, and then you stay in it, and then that becomes it. But just because your bank account is improving or your views are improving doesn't mean that you're improving. And I would like to get to the level and utilize the internet and the powers that we have with social media. You have an entire studio here, all these different rooms, you have all these employees. You can create a great movie if you wanted to. You can create a TV show, something that's different. But I don't want to get caught. It's like if I started doing porn or I started promoting, like I've gotten gambling deals for really high, like 30 bands, and especially now that I've been banned, it's like, you know, I'm not getting no AdSense, 30 bands to do some gambling shit, but I would rather not get used to that type of like easy money, because I want to keep elevating myself and also the videos I do.
Yeah, I don't think you should do porn.
No, you're being facetious, but.
Well, I don't think you should do porn.
You wouldn't recommend that to people?
Well, I mean, if you wanted to, you should. But I wouldn't say you should like do it even though you don't want to.
Yeah. Like I remember I used to be a model, and that shit sucks.
Really?
It's the worst. It's you stand there, you're an object. That's the first time I felt like a woman.
I would hate it.
Yeah, it's the worst.
When I would like think about what that would be like, I mean, you're just like a coat hanger. You just stand there and they're just putting shit on you.
A pretty mannequin with makeup on.
God. That's why, like, me and my girl have had that conversation about, like, I said to her the other day, I go, what if somebody came up to you and told you that they would give us $1 million a year for our kid to be a fucking child model?
No.
And we were just like, no. Because it's like, even just getting her into that mind frame of just like what you look like being your value to the world seems like such a dangerous thing to put into a kid's head.
When are you going to be like, I have enough money? You probably have like at least 10 mil saved. No?
No comment. But
more. He laughed at that.
It's not about money though. I don't really care about money.
Yeah. So you're saying like this is the future of content creation, this long form content that you could repurpose on different platforms. There's a lot of money in it.
Right.
When would you decide like, oh, I have enough money. Now let me create something different?
I also just feel like it's the future in the sense that, yeah, we're making more money off it, but it just keeps becoming more and more of a viable opportunity and option in comparison to like Netflix or all these other, people are just gravitating towards this content in a way that
nobody wants. Netflix sucks. Besides,
TV
Jeffrey
is
Dahmer.
over.
It's over.
So when people talk to me about the future of No Jumper, and they basically are like, "Oh, you could do a documentary. You could sell something to HBO or whatever." It's like, why would that be a good thing for me to make content that I then don't own?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, maybe doing one thing to get your name out there, doing like a big high production thing. I could see the value in that, but I would way rather do shit organically and own my own shit for the most part.
You have no artist in you? You have no... Do you consider yourself an artist?
I think these conversations are my art, if anything.
Why don't you want to make music?
Because I have no impulse to create music, and I've never created music, and I just don't really... It just doesn't really appeal to me.
It does, though. You have a podcast interviewing musicians all the time.
Yeah, I'm like interested in music, but I'm not like dying to make music. I gotta watch UFC. I don't want to fucking be a UFC fighter.
What was your dream job when you were a kid? Was it BMX?
I never really thought of BMX like that. I don't know. I didn't really think about life that clearly when I was a kid. I was into like crime way before I actually started making money doing something legitimate, doing credit card shit and stealing and all that. When I think about it now, that's how I should have been thinking about life. Is like, okay, what am I going to do to either start a business myself or get hired by a company doing something that I think is cool? I don't really remember that crossing my mind when I was in high school.
You never had an existential crisis early on?
Oh, I feel like my whole youth was like an existential crisis. What the fuck am I going to do? Because my parents like made me have a job from like 12 on. Like when I was 12, I was waking up at 4 a.m. to deliver newspapers to like, 100 fucking houses or whatever, dragging around this bag. It's the biggest thing you've ever fucking seen. Walking around, I'm 12 at 4 a.m. thinking, I got to figure something out. I got to figure out how the fuck this is not going to be my life. And then I'm working at the grocery store and I'm just standing there for 8 hours just thinking like, I hate this. I need to figure something out. No matter what the fuck it is, I cannot just work a fucking job. Like, but it's not like I thought of that. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to get an education so I can have like a cool job. No, I was just like, I can't work. I can't do this. It's not for me. If being an influencer or a YouTuber or whatever, if that existed at that time, that's 1,000% the direction that I would have been going in.
What is your drawing to this? Why do you seek out content creation?
I just like, doing interviews specifically. I just like talking to people and I like seeing where these things go. But then even if I couldn't do interviews, I would still probably want to like stream or make videos of me talking about stuff, doing essay type stuff, something like that, just because I just love the feeling of like making something and then people watching it and then getting that feedback.
Do you think all these people are attention seekers? that do this? That there's like an absence of attention that they didn't receive as a kid, so they seek out
maybe
online.
some of them, but not like uniformly.
What separates content creators from normies?
When did this? What happened? Were you just banging me over the head with question after question?
ain't
This
asking me nothing.
motherfucker just
I'm curious.
changed the tone of this fucking interview. What was that one?
What separates content creators from normies?
Well, these days, a lot of the normies are trying to be content creators too. You know what the thing is that if you want to be a content creator, you got to be kind of like, well, you don't have to be, but it helps to be kind of unhinged. You have to be like,
Until you get banned.
not 100% there.
Until you get banned.
Well, until they get banned. But like when I look at Speed, who, please, Speed, do the interview. Bro, I want to interview Speed so bad. It would be the best. But, I mean, the fact that he seems like he could just go off the rails at any minute, that's like a huge part of his appeal.
It worked for me.
Same thing with you.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to say.
Yeah. It's never boring.
Yeah. That goes a long way with these viewers. Anyway, what else are we supposed to talk about here?
I don't know. You're getting mad at me interviewing you.
No, I was just calling attention to the fact that had just happened.
Yeah. You weren't even aware of it for a while. I got like 12 in a row.
Are you high?
A little bit, yeah.
How's that feel?
I smoked for like 9 years straight.
Really?
I'm used to it, yeah.
So
I
it's
stopped
taking
a
you
lot
back
recently.
to your old self?
Nah, I don't think I'm going to smoke that much. I'm taking baby-ass Elon Musk, Joe Rogan hits.
Really?
Yeah.
See, my weird thing right now is that my girl's gone for 3 weeks with the kid.
Where is she?
She went to France and Italy. She's looking at wedding venues and like just traveling. She brought her assistant with her.
Oh, shit.
So she's off living her fucking independent life. She basically said she's not having another baby until she like gets some traveling out of the way, you know? And we traveled a bunch this summer and stuff, but she wants to like do like a longer, she wanted to really go around Europe, you know? So I'm over here fucking bachelor life while she's gone. No kid in the house.
So why has that got you worried?
I'm not worried. It's just weird. It's just a freaky occurrence. All of a sudden, I'm just like,
fine.
I'm not the same dude I'm used to being.
You seem the same.
Do I?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel fine. But it's a little tricky. You know, like.
No, I don't.
All of a sudden, my life is so much more normal. Like, I'm sitting there eating breakfast, and I'm used to, like, the dog running around, the kid freaking out doing something, my girl's there, the fucking whatever, and I'm just alone. Everything is just still. And it's kind of overwhelming.
Are you allowed to bring other girls?
No.
Invite a friend over.
Just have some girl come over?
Or a guy, I don't know.
Or a guy.
Hang out with your boy, play some video games and shit.
Yeah, like just have the homie come over. I know. I don't do that though. I don't have my friends come over to just kick it.
And sit in the silence, watch a Jeffrey Dahmer.
I got out of that habit a long time ago. And I was thinking about that. I was thinking like the dudes that I do the podcast with, T-Rail and AD and shit. I was thinking like, what if they lived like next door? Would they just come over and hang out? And why is it them being next door the thing that makes that normal, and them driving 15 minutes to hang out seems weird? We make no effort to do that. How'd you feel when Patrick CC made that video about you? That made you feel like you made it? All of a sudden I got a big documentary out. Was that like a big one?
Was it a big documentary you consider?
Or was that like a big thing? Because for me, I feel like I maybe didn't know about you till then. Yeah.
Did you think I was insane?
No. I watched it and I was like, doesn't seem that crazy to me.
Yeah. No, it was alarming to be like in the middle of all this hype and then have a video like talking about the experience while it was happening.
Right.
And I'm talking about this like as if it's past tense. I guess it is because I'm banned, but this was like last month, 2 months ago. It doesn't feel like that long ago.
Right.
I never feel like I made it. I never feel a level of satisfaction. I was just hanging out with a bunch of YouTubers today, and they kept saying, like, we walk back a concert, like, yo, go walk in front of them, see if they recognize you, or like, oh my God, I don't want to like put, like, they're really interested in the level of fame. But that's never been my metric of satisfaction. So like that documentary was like, okay, this is the next step. But I'm never satisfied. Just want to keep going.
I hate when people do that.
Say what I say?
No, when people fucking just draw way too much attention to the fact that people recognize you in public and shit. Because I feel like I've been doing it too long. That like the novelty of like, oh my God, everybody's talking to me. Everybody wants to take a picture of me.
It wears off.
Once you get to a certain level, you gotta just like take the photo. What up, man? How you doing? Keep it moving. I know so many. Yeah, I do. I know a bunch of people just like make too much of a thing out of it. It's fucking weird.
No, they don't make a thing out of it, but yeah, they do. They make a thing out of it. It's just like, okay, bro, like, I'd rather just move on. It was cool at first, but
because it's like realistically, taking the photo takes like 30 seconds. But if you're gonna then like act like it's such a big deal and like talk about it afterwards and stuff, it occupies way more time in your life. If you like, because I just know too many people are just like enthralled with the idea of being recognized. They're having people who knows them, you know?
You got big dreams, man. I don't think this shit is the end. Like that documentary or just the level of fame or whatever now, it's like, that's not, I'm just getting started.
Right. So the band didn't make you feel like, oh, fuck, it's going to be hard to grow from here. It's going to be hard.
Of course it's going to be hard, but I like a challenge. And I want to make a dope movie. I want to make like the new Taxi Driver. I want to make a movie that like affects pop culture and the minds of people, that can inspire people. I want to start music. I want to do everything. Got big dreams. When do you think
you're high, dude?
I'm odd?
You're high.
I'm not high.
You're high.
No, I'm high.
Yeah, look at him.
You're higher than me, man. I started smoking because you was high, man.
Hell no, I ain't high.
Came in here high.
You're high.
I'm not high.
You're high, bro.
No, I don't.
What were you about to say?
Why do most people give up on their dreams, Adam?
Why do most people give up on their dreams? Well, most people give up on their dreams because their dreams are not realistic or attainable. I mean, you know, like people, when you're in first grade, second grade, third grade, whatever, like you want to be in the NBA. Realistically, there's like only a couple hundred people are in the NBA at any given time. Even the best person in your school might not make it into the league. So that's a dream that at some point everybody has to pretty much give up on. And same thing for any competitive sport. There's only going to be a few greats, you know? There's really, you know, a lot of people have dreams to be a famous singer. I mean, how many fucking singers really are, you know?
What do you think you'd be doing if you didn't make it?
Probably OnlyFans. I think about that sometimes because I did the BMX site. I was like toiling away, like not really making that much money and just kind of having this little rinky-dink business for like 10 years, the BMX website. And it was cool. And like we did dope shit, made dope videos and like had like this really popping website for all those years. But I was not really like making a ton of money. I was kind of just like treading water, you know? And then started doing this shit. Shit started popping off. And then along the way, I started doing OnlyFans. We started Plug Talk, whatever. But when I think about it, if I had never started No Jumper, if I had just kept grinding away, doing the BMX shit, and then OnlyFans came along, I probably would have been like, oh, fuck. I'm going to just fuck girls on OnlyFans. And I probably would have just gone in that direction realistically because I needed the money. I would have just been like a full-time porn star guy. I think. But who knows?
And you'd be happy doing that?
I mean, I would have been happy in the sense that I would have been doing something that was fun and that I like doing, and I would have been making a lot more money, and it would have allowed me to probably keep doing the BMX shit.
Do you think that thinking like Satan's cool in the absence of God lets you be okay with a lot of these things?
I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I like satanic imagery, sure. But that has nothing to do with the fact that I don't think that there's anything wrong with porn.
Religious people are very anti-porn.
Some are.
Like real religious people are. Porn is very anti-God.
Why?
Because it's separating.
Why would a God not want you to watch porn? Why would God care about such a thing?
It's separating the intimate act between two people and monetizing it.
Is it?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I mean, there's a demand for it.
But God
it's
doesn't
going to exist either way because there's a demand for it. Don't you think?
That's true. But I'm saying, like, is the reason that you don't believe in God, is that why you go about these things? And it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't have an effect. Like, I would feel a level of guilt and shame if I'm putting myself in your shoes. If I was doing it, I would be like, fuck, man. Like, I could have been that director that I wanted to be.
You seem to have an infatuation with movies. I don't really give a fuck about movies. I hate movies. I never watch movies. I don't really think there's anything that admirable about being like a director compared to being a YouTuber or doing porn or whatever else. I don't really. I mean, yeah, some people would definitely a lot of people in society would look at like a movie director, a successful movie director, as like a extremely admirable person. Sure. Myself personally, I don't look down on porn stars. I wouldn't really think of that as.
No, it's not about looking down, but the people that have most impacted my life have been artists. People like Kanye, people like Martin Scorsese. These people, like straight up artists, I consider as like role models and have changed the course of my life. And I want to have that impact on other people. I'm wondering, is that like how much of this podcast is based in that, and how much of it is just straight up entertainment?
I mean, I think we can do both. We're gonna have like in-depth, personal, intimate, revealing conversations. I've had conversations on here that made me want to cry, that made me tear up. And then I've had conversations that were purely goofy shit, clowning on people, whatever. So, I mean, I would say it ranges. It's the whole range of humanity of everything we do on here. We do it all.
Mm.
I wouldn't really.
What's your favorite album?
My favorite album? Ugh.
I think it's very telling.
I mean, I could go in a million different directions. There's like 15 rappers that pop into my head, and then even picking one album from them is hard, and that's one genre.
Oh, give me a couple. I want to see like what your actual music taste is.
Well, Illmatic is a consistent thing throughout my life. I like the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. My parents always played that when I was a kid, and I still go back to it all the time. So that's two.
Those are both great.
The Blueprint.
Those are great.
Was a legendary one to me. I don't know. I mean, what the fuck am I supposed to say? I don't know.
Why do you think you picked those? How have they impacted you? If I would answer that, it would be the same. I would tell you how it's impacted my life. I'm curious about like why you're gravitated towards that music.
Just great art, great depictions of humanity. I don't know. They're all very diverse and far-reaching, and they all affected me in different ways, and even individual songs are compelling to me in a variety of different ways off all those different projects. What the fuck are we talking about? They want to hear us talk about beef. What did you talk about with academics?
The same shit. Mostly about, we got into conspiracies. I talked about the same thing with him too. I talk about this, a lot of content creators like to see what their motivations are.
Well, you don't get to scold him for doing porn.
I'm not scolding. You think? Do you feel under attack right now?
No, I don't care.
No, I'm not scolding him. I talked about how he stirs up drama, and it's the same thing. He's been doing the same thing for a lot of years, and my motivation's different. It's not scolding. I'm realizing the differences about why people go into this. And he was talking a lot about similar things about how there's more money in what he does, there's more longevity, and talking about what I talk about. Social media and big tech has made it clear that it's not okay to talk about that. That's not what they want to hear. They don't want like uplifting, motivational. They don't want content that makes people think in a different way. Entertainment's supposed to be sedative. It's supposed to be relaxing. It's supposed to turn your brain off to a certain extent. And when there's something that's like amping people up or inspiring people, it's like they need to shut it down. And so academics was telling me that, do you acknowledge that you're going to have a harder time making money and you're going to have a harder time in your career? And I was telling him that that's just not why I got into this.
Yeah, you got to follow your heart. Well, but do you feel like you followed your heart, or do you feel like you got radicalized by the viewers wanting you to talk about more and more extreme shit?
No.
You ever think about that?
No. It wasn't the viewers. That's always been my inclination to. Everything that I talk about is stuff that I've been interested in since I was very young.
Okay.
Conspiracies. I'm really into seeking out what actually is true and what's not. and also thinking in a different way and challenging beliefs. I like arguing. The fact that you think that like I'm disagreeing with you, or what did you say about porn? Scolding, yeah. I like that. I like going back. I like mental challenge because I don't want to just have a conversation that doesn't elevate me in some sense.
Where are you at with Destiny? Are you guys not a tag team duo anymore?
Are we not what?
Are you not a tag team duo anymore?
What do you mean? Like streaming?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just texted me. He wants to go get dinner. I want to.
He's out here?
No, he's in Miami.
Oh.
I want to continue talking to him because like we disagree on so much that it makes me think in a different way, and I think it makes him think in a different way too. Something with Jadion or anybody that I've talked to on stream, and I want to keep seeking that out. I want to keep talking to every different type of person. And just the problem is that most leftists and woke people have no capability to talk to somebody that disagrees with them. They get surprised when they see me disagree with somebody on a stream. They're like, how is this possible? And like people in the comments are like, look, there's an example of how different political parties can actually agree and hang out. And it's like, this is just regular for me. I like hanging out with you. I like talking to you because you think extremely different than me. I've seen this conversation
about a few things. Mostly porn,
even porn and the motivations for everything and what we're interested in and like what we like to seek out, the acceptance of the world. It's very different, and I like having that back and forth. And I picked up on that right away. Because I think
you should start a gay version of Plug Talk.
No. What?
You and a dude. Sorry. Maybe I am high. But yeah. Sneako. How's that Celsius treat you?
It was good.
I think it made me pre-cum.
It's what?
I think I was drinking it for a while, and I think it was making me pre-cum. And I Googled it, and I found some information about how energy drinks lower your sperm concentration. So I think it's a possibility.
I think, yeah, maybe.
But I still served it to you willingly. I don't know why there was like a 6-pack of it in the fridge.
Thank you. It was good.
When I was drinking it, I liked it a lot. But I'm not trying to mess with my sperm. So I'm gonna keep going with that conspiracy theory.
You already have a kid.
Yeah, but I'm trying to make more.
How many you want?
And I'm trying not to get any of these other girls pregnant in the meantime. How many? 2? 3? I don't know.
Are you pro-life or you're pro-choice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kill them all. Metallica. Not them all. But if a girl wants to get rid of it, I think she should get rid of it.
Yeah, we disagree on a lot, Adam.
Yeah, you don't like that?
I mean, I can't get mad at somebody's belief, but I'm very pro-life.
Well,
we disagree on a lot.
I highly doubt we're going to change each other's minds on that.
We're not. Definitely not.
Today.
But I think I say that. I like the idea of that until, like, imagine I get a Trish pregnant. Like, imagine if I was doing one of those, like...
Well, that's like every Republican politician ever.
Oh, yeah. For 100%. You get the wrong girl pregnant.
Walker just did that.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's an old classic. But, I mean, in their defense, you could want something to be illegal, but then partake in it. Right? I mean, does it make you a hypocrite? Sure,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you want porn to be banned, but you watch porn in the meantime just because it's out there.
I don't watch porn, man. You really trying to get me on that? I deadass don't watch porn. You can look through my search history. I swear to God, I don't.
So if I introduce you, if there just is a girl out here, just some random hottie, she's the hottest chick you ever seen in your life.
And I know you're probably being honest about
this.
this.
And you know this chick is not out there. But if she was out there and you saw her and you knew that you could watch 8 guys fuck her with elephant trunks for dicks. You're turning that down? I want to see it.
Why do you need to see? I don't know. I'm good.
Why would I not want to see it? It's extreme.
Why? What the fuck does the elephant trunk? Don't do the devil horns with that.
Extreme.
You see the parallels? Nah, but like, I don't understand. What's the appeal? Why do you want to see 8 dicks in a girl?
I mean, okay, if you're not into that, 1. I want to see her get fucked. If she was fucking right here, it would be the only thing we were able to talk about, right?
Yeah, 100%. But
I know it exists online a few clicks away. I can look at it in my phone right now. I got to see it.
Here's an analogy that I've never made before. But it's kind of like the fact that we both like murder music, right?
Right.
We like drill music. And part of it is the fact that you get the adrenaline rush feeling of what it's like to be on a drive-by shooting in the middle of the night with your homies and you're getting revenge on something. Like the adrenaline rush is probably extremely high and something that most people never experience. Maybe that's why all these women are drawn to murder documentaries, because we kind of seek out that excitement. Even though the lifestyle might be bad, we choose a more normal life, and then we can exercise it through things like porn instead, or murder documentaries, or murder music. But instead, even though that might give you a great adrenaline rush, being on a drive-by shooting, we know that it's better for you to not do it, and it's better for the world to not do it, so you don't do it. So just because everything is out there and available and you can do, you need to set limitations for yourself. And even me, like you brought it up earlier, like me getting head from random thoughts and shit like that. Ideally, you don't do that. You're right. Everybody's a hypocrite to some extent, but we also, in my opinion, I like to acknowledge what's good and what's bad for most people.
Right, but like just because I listen to King Von, and I think that King Von
demon music.
King Von should not have killed all those people.
He's a serial killer, straight up demon.
But I could still listen to him, even though I think that this music realistically shouldn't exist. You know,
it's not about should it or should it not exist. It's just like
the world would be a better place if
it would. But you
King
need to
Von
decide.
didn't make all this murder music that I enjoy.
You need to decide. Maybe all of it is synced together. Maybe the murder music is lowering your vibration, and then you become comfortable with porn.
But I want to watch a chick get fucked by 8 guys for the same reason that I like listening to King Von.
Yeah, it's the same
extreme.
Thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's bad shit.
Nah, it's great though. It's great art.
Just because it feels good. So the analogy is like, I bet that killing an enemy feels good.
Right.
But nah, you shouldn't do it.
Why?
It's better to not do it.
But if you're in the gang world, you got to do it.
But it's better to not be in the gang world. That's the point.
Well, I would agree with that, yeah.
It's better to just uplift yourself and be better.
Right. You shouldn't join a gang, because if you're in a gang, at some point you're probably going to have to kill somebody.
To be initiated, yeah.
Be initiated. I don't think that's an initiation.
No. Or whatever, to be accepted.
Right. But I mean, that's realistically, I mean, there's probably plenty of gangs where you don't end up having to do that. But a lot of gangs, that's the reality of it. And your life would be better if you don't kill somebody, so just don't join a gang.
There's too many cycles of negative energy I see, and this is what I talk about in the street. It's like, I think we're meant to idolize these things so that we don't uplift our minds. Like, our minds are capable of so much. Energy's real, and I'm sure, but I know you talked to X, and I know you felt that when he was around. Like somebody that's constantly on a journey of trying to be their best self and reach the capabilities that your mind is capable. Like that, there's something to that everything in society suppresses. Like when you watch porn, you're not able to reach that place mentally. If you're watching elephant trunk girls getting fucked, like you're
elephant trunk dicks. But let me tell you something about X, is that there's this girl, me and my girl fucked her, and it was all on my girl's Twitter, whatever, like me and my girl hanging out with this chick.
And it was X's X.
And then X hits her up from that and flies her out, and he's hanging out with her for like months after that. I say that just to say.
Have you ever said that before?
Yeah. Okay. I say that just to say, yes, X was a guy who was spiritually enlightened, and he was on a quest for knowledge and all this shit, but he was also having a lot of indiscriminate sex with porn stars. So, I mean, there's that.
He was indulging.
He was indulging in his fame and his newfound wealth, yeah. You know, he's a fucking kid from Florida. He never had a chance to do any of this shit. Although, actually, realistically, I mean, he was fucking porn stars from, like, before he was popular as a rapper, just because his manager was a porn star.
Yep.
Bruno.
Oh. I thought you were saying you.
No. Although that is kind of weird that I ended up being one, too.
Yeah. So you don't think that he was as in tune into the energy?
No, he was. I'm just saying he was also fucking a lot of porn stars and having a lot of orgies and shit.
I guess you're right. I guess that it doesn't detract from your mentality.
A lot of the greatest artists of our time have been the most indiscriminate sex havers.
Freaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
It's the spice of life. All right. Sneako, what the fuck are we talking about?
You're right. I like this conversation.
Okay. I got to piss, so I feel like this is over.
All right.
Sneako. Were we too high? We're not high enough?
I'm feeling good.
I think you should go back to modeling.
No. Don't end on that.
You took the glasses off, and I'm just like, oh, what a handsome man.
I'm putting them back on.
Really?
Back on.
What a hot guy.
All right. Extreme.
Sneako, extreme anal. King Von, Sneako, extreme.
You didn't have that much to ask me.
I had many things to ask. We talked about all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was thinking about that.
interviewing you more than you were interviewing me.
I was thinking about that earlier. Like that, I didn't do like let's search Sneako's name on YouTube and find every spicy thing I could possibly ask you about.
Yes, it's not just about drama though. I like actual comments. You pick your nose, man.
I'm not picking. I'm just rubbing it.
Yeah.
I didn't enter the brim. ASMR.
That was great.
I was itching my beard into the mic. Sneako, appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thanks.
No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Patreon, and Instagram. Like, comment, and subscribe. NoJumper.com if you want to support. OnlyPlugTalk.com if you want to see me bang like 40 chicks.
I will not do that, and you can make your own decision about that.
I'll send you a trial, buddy.
I'm good on seeing that. Follow me on Instagram. Oh, you already cut it off. You get the point. You know where to find me. And shout out to my creativity kit. I'll see you Monday, Wednesday, Friday so we can uplift our mentality.